Let's get right to it. Who will be declared? Who will be given the second weakest link? And who will get away with third place? Let's find out right now. I piece, J piece, Z piece. Same piece sets have been confirmed, and the first game is underway. Tetris #1 for Hana, already off the mark, with no burns. Bendy having to wait for another long bar to come at a later time, but he will have #1 on the board as well. #2 also on the board for Bendy. Hana now just waiting. #2 having to take 2 burns. Force triple. And a drought counter has appeared. Hana getting a little bit dangerous. Needs something to the left. Can do. Needs an L piece ideally. Puts a T piece to the left. Sorry. 37 pieces and it's still going. Hana's in almost dire straits. It's almost long bar of death at this point. O piece to the left is needed. O piece has been obtained with the perfect second piece as well. $53 beast drought. Hana lives. Hana finally gets a Tetris on the board, and they both in fact survive. Hoo-wee! Would you look at that? Let's hope that there are no more major droughts. And it looks like Bendy has a slight edge in terms of pace after that ordeal. But the most important thing is that both players have survived. Could have very easily dissolved into a early top out. No sir, says both of them. It was not bar or death. It almost became bar or death. Tantalizingly close. To the limits. For those of you that might be new at the game, you might be noticing some coloured lines in the centre of their stacks. They represent full gas limits. Currently they're at level 18, so you should only be interested at the top 2 lines. The blue line and the green line. They represent DAS limits for putting the bar to the left hand side and the right hand side, with the blue bar being 12 high to the right and green being 10 high to the left. When they both hopefully eventually get to post-transition, we'll then be interested in the 2 bottom bars, the yellow bar and the red bar. The yellow bar represents full gas on the right hand side, being 9 high, and the green bar being on the left hand side, being 6 high. They can be oh my god, that J piece was absolutely perfect for Bendy. Literally no other piece would have saved him there. It was J piece or death, and the J piece came. After that slight mishap, Hana has taken the pace lead of Harper Tetris. And both players' stacks now stable. Interesting Z piece placement for Bendy. Decides to go for column 9 instead of burning down. And we'll see how that goes. Takes a Tetris. The right hand side still 3 high. So either 3 burns to bring it all the way down, or double down. The double down has been done with a single. Stack a little bit precarious. That S piece came at a bad time. Drought counters forming. Bendy needs this right side to be accessible. An O piece is needed. Puts an I piece left instead. Flat I. Gets a perfect L piece. Now just needs one more skin, does so with the T-piece, and the long bar does come at a good time for a Tetris, but is now 2.5 Tetrises behind in pace. As Hana quite comfortably stacking normally. Tetris ready, bar comes exactly at the right time. 499, nearly at transition. 2 Tetrises to go potentially. Bendy with 3, now only 2 with that T-piece. Could do with opening up the right hand side again before transition. Bendy will be the first transition with a score of 450. Hana, 1 line to go, will do so with a Tetris. 546. A very solid lead so far for Hana into level 19. Let's see what Bendy can do to try and catch up. Or will Hana mess up? Nice double from Hana to solve a slight mishap. Both players stacks clean. Both players now Tetris ready. Drought counters now forming. Let's see how long this will be. 20 pieces it turns out. Hana now a little bit dependent. Guess a quick tap with the J piece to the left. That was save versus death. Need something to the left. That's 6 high. Or 7 high. But regardless, it was done. Still no bar, but finally came after 28 pieces. Hana with a dash mistake over at the S piece, but the long bar did come immediately. Is ahead by 2 Tetrises, but is not in a scoring position, unlike Bendy, who scores a Tetris at 23 to bring it down to 1 Tetris. A little bit of a tapping action from Bendy, but within DAS limits, which is allowed within the rule sets of CD DAS. Both players now just separated by a triple. Into 24, Bendy with Tetris. Another Tetris for Bendy. What will Hana's respond with? Tetris ready for both players. Bar comes. Tetris for Hana is now 1.5 Tetrises behind. At level 25, we're now at the late game of post-transition. Both players having to do a few burns. Quick tap with the T-piece for Hana. Tetris for Hana. Still behind by 2.5 Tetrises. Another dash mistake from Hana. Stack game precarious. Takes a bailout triple. This late into the game. Might have to start thinking about going all in. As Bendy is ahead by 2 Tetrises into level 27. Just 2 levels to go. 20 lines. Tetris for Hana brings it down to just 1 Tetris apiece. As Bendy being a little bit high up, guess a quick tap with the long bar to the left. Forced to burn down. And now Bendy makes a dash mistake with a J piece to the left. The left is inaccessible, except for L pieces. Gets the L piece. But Hana, just slightly behind. Bendy can score 1 more Tetris out of desperation, does so. And Hana needs to score this Tetris to win. A Tetris will do it. But needs some pieces. The pieces did not come. And Hana will lose by a Tetris, meaning that Bendy will take the first heart. 1 more game awaits you to take the first set. Hana, both games must now be won to take the first set. As a T piece, I piece, O piece, I piece, O piece. Opener. Same piece sets has been confirmed. And a Tetris will be scored by both players. Bendy with a lucky L piece. Tetris for both players, but Bendy will be forced to burn. Takes a clean triple. Hana with a Tetris. Bendy with a Tetris. Hana will be ahead by a triple in terms of pace, but takes a double. Hana now taking a few skims. Sets up a T-spin dependency. Bails out of it pretty much immediately. Bendy takes a Tetris, and now Bendy is one Tetris in the lead. Takes another Tetris. And Bendy is now two Tetrises in the lead. Hana, Tetris on the board. And both players' stacks stable. Hana taking another Tetris. Scores are even, however, Bendy is 4 lines behind. Bendy taking a few skims, resolves it nicely, takes a Tetris. However, in terms of pace, we are both now even with each other. Bendy with a few interesting moves. Perhaps did not go as well as he expected, as Hana takes a Tetris. It's now 2 Tetrises in the lead in terms of pace. Hello Das. Hello everyone. Hana, half a Tetris ahead in terms of raw score. 4th but the O-piece left. Alright, Bendy gets out of it. And still having to take a few skims. Takes a Tetris. It's now neck and neck between each other. Halfway, 250 each. Both of them hoping to get 500k transitions each. If you want to see the bracket, here you go. There's the bracket for the second real tournament. 2 matches to go. Hana versus Bendy for the bronze match, followed by P. Carrick versus Leo Leo for the finals. Yes, it is in the title, Dan V. There is a 3rd place match. They have both obtained their first weakest links, and now they're fighting to avoid being the 2nd weakest link. Bendy a little bit dependent on this stack right now. Both players' stacks actually quite dependent. Hana with a long bar dependency puts one of them all the way to the right. And Bendy hangs the Z piece to the right hand side. That's instant death. That was literal instant death for Bendy. Hangs the Z piece to the right hand side. Just like that. Hana has a very trivial Chasedown. A Tetris and change will take it. This is not yet guaranteed, but it's still trivial. That's what happens when you use the DAS playstyle. You're not allowed to cheat your way out of situations. If you make a mistake, you top out. It's as simple as that. Hana creates a long bar dependency at column number 3. Hana will take this game before transition, even lining out. Just about. Triple will take it at this point. Longbar does come for a triple, and that will take it. It's now 1-all. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. S piece, L piece, long bar. Same pieces are confirmed. Both players taking different approaches. Bendy with the first Tetris on the board, followed shortly by Hana. Hana with number 2 on the board. Bendy already having an interesting stack with a Tetris well over at column number 2. Gets a bar for a Tetris. Transfers it to column 3. As Hana is now in a minor dig. As Bendy scores a Tetris. Wow. The most blessed RNG ever for Bendy, as 3 long bars in a row come to set up perfectly for a column 4 Tetris. Both players scores a Tetris, and despite center whirling, Bendy is ahead by a Tetris and a half in pace, as Hana, once again in the minor dig, needs a T-piece and a long bar. Not a nice dependency to see. The T-piece does come, sets up a dirty Tetris over at column 3, and Bendy, right hand side almost inaccessible, must have hung a piece. And now both players are in the long bar drought. Bendy having to hit that quick tap or it would have been death. It was bar or death for Bendy, and needing to hit the quick tap. 40 lines apiece. 150 for Bendy, 120 for Hana. A lot of drama already in the early game for game number 3. Yes, RNG is now what you would expect. Brutal, horrid, and it doesn't care about your feelings. Nice J-spin for Bendy. Doing a lot of tucking right now. Nice line spin, nice T-spin. The only problem is, Bendy, this is not modern Tetris. No bonus points, all garbage will be sent to your opponent. And as such, Hana will be 1 Tetris in the lead. Bendy now waiting for a bar. This is okay. Bendy does bail out, but the left hand side is inaccessible. The bailout was the bad option. It had to be bar or death, and unfortunately with that drought, regardless of what Bendy would have done, it was death. Hana, you have won 2 games in a row, therefore you will take the first set. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Alright, let's see what these players will do under normal conditions. So both players score a Tetris. Bendy with number 2 on the board. Hana also with number 2 on the board. Bendy with 3 in a row. Hana looking for an L piece. Double L piece. Drought counter now counting. Now Hana in a dig. Looking for a T piece ideally, does get a T piece, followed by the L piece, followed by the long bar. But it shall only be a triple, meaning that Bendy will already be about 2.5 Tetrises in the lead. Hana will decide to go for row 2, gets rewarded. 2 Tetrises. As Bendy will do a little bit of some bailout burns. Takes a Tetris. Hana. Just an O piece to the left. Another drought counter is counting. Thou shalt count to 3. Not to 4, but to 3. And 5 will be right out. And Hana's left hand side a little bit bothersome. More bailout burns is needed to avoid a top out. Needs something to the right. Gets an L piece to the right for a triple. Hana with a long bar dependency. And a little bit of a bothersome left. Puts 2 O pieces to the left. Long bar does come. G piece comes at a good time. Bendy now already over 100,000 points in the lead. Hana finally scores a Tetris. Row number 2. $160 only at the just at the halfway mark. Bendy with $273 at the halfway mark. Hana once again very high up. And hangs the long bar. Which means that Bendy, you do not need to play any more games. Your dominant lead was good enough. You will take the first game of the second set. Will Bendy win this game to make it 1 set all? Find out in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. This time Hana immediately scores Tetris. Bendy will do so as well, but already will have to take 2 burns. Ideally with an O piece. That O piece will come eventually. Meanwhile on Hana's side, already with the long bar dependency on the left hand side, is a Tetris well, which is a slight positive. Now just waiting on the long bar. Takes a couple of doubles. Now the drought counter is counting once again. Finally a bar does come, and it will be a perfect transfer back to column 10. Tetris for Hana. Bendy just waiting on the bar. The bar does come for another Tetris. Bendy ahead by half a Tetris in terms of pace. Now 1.5 Tetrises after a few burnt lines for Hana. Bendy now having to take a few burns of his own. 2 of them. That's up an L dependency. That T piece he had no idea what to do. That mistake. Let's see how many lines that'll cost him. That's 2 burns so far. 4 burns. That T piece resulted in a 5 burn mistake before it was resolved fully. Which means that they are both now neck and neck with each other. Bendy completely clean. Hana having to take some burns. O pieces had to be put to the right hand side. Takes a clean triple. But Bendy scoring Tetrises, being worth more than triples. Will be 1.5 Tetrises in lead in terms of pace. Nearly at the halfway mark. To level 19. Bendy will take a Tetris into line 66, 288. And think about getting a 550 transition. And after a drought, we'll get a Tetris into the halfway mark with 260. Can think about getting a 525 transition. But anything can happen. We just have to watch on and see. And a little bit high up, but gets some good pieces to burn with. Longbar does come 80 lines, 300,000. Bendy now also a little bit higher, but the Longbar comes at a good time for a Tetris. Both players scoring Tetrises on each other. Bendy remaining at 1.5 Tetrises in the lead in terms of pace. Hana takes a Tetris. Bendy with column number 8. Nearly at 100 lines apiece, 99 each. Lead has been reduced to just half a Tetris in favour of Bendy. Both players scoring a Tetris. Bendy looking for a J piece or a Longbar. Gets the Longbar. Gets another Longbar. Both players scoring a Tetris. Both players once again scoring another Tetris. Lead remaining at half a Tetris in favour of Bendy. As we approach post-transition, just 15 lines to go. Tetris for Bendy, 500,000. Tetris for Hana, also at 500,000. Hana can score 3 more Tetrises. Bendy with 2. Hana having to take a double. Hana scores a Tetris and score 1 more. Bendy with 1 more. Scores a Tetris into 19, score of 556. Hana with 565. A separation of only just over a triple. It is now a game of pure skill. Who will play their post transitions with more proficiency as Bendy is bar a def. It's bar a def, and the bar does come to make the left accessible with a Tetris. However, Bendy needs that L piece left. It's almost dire straits. Gets a 7 height, puts a Longbar flat instead. 2 O piece, S pieces instead. There's nothing else that Bendy can do. Hana, you don't really need to do anything. You have won the second game of the second set, and it is now 1-1. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Best of 15 matches. What do you think about that? T-spin for Hana, setting 0 lines of garbage to the opponent. Takes a clean triple, however. Bendy with number 1 on the board. Also Hana with number 1 on the board. That's a lot of matches. Now Bendy with a Longbar dependency at column number 3. Builds in the dependency. J-piece just about manages to get tucked on, and the Tetris will be scored for Bendy. Tetris for Hana, another Tetris for Bendy, another Tetris for Hana, and after 20 lines they are both just separated by a triple. It's a slog, but it's fun to watch. The players shall be suffering for the entertainment of the audience. Bendy, with a column 8 setup, gets the bar, gets a Tetris. Takes a single to transfer back to the right well, as Hana takes a Tetris and will be one Tetris ahead in terms of pace. Excuse me. Hana having to deal with a somewhat awkward stack. Could do the long bar put to the right hand side to open up a column 2 well. That long bar will not come. Takes a clean double to open up the right hand side, but that said piece was the worst piece possible, but the long bar does finally come. Opens up column number 2, but these are not good pieces once again. Needs a J piece for a clean triple, ideally. Now the J piece will no longer result in a clean triple. As Bendy takes a Tetris, it's now ahead by nearly 100,000 points. Hana finally scoring a Tetris. Column number 2. 3 O pieces come. Make that 4. Takes a Tetris at column 4. And may decide to go row number 2 over at the right hand side. As Bendy, waiting for a long bar or a J piece. Long bar does come, but the right hand side closed up. And Bendy, with a dash or tap mistake with the S piece left hand side. Now inaccessible. This is bar or death for Bendy. This is absolutely bar or death for Bendy. The bar does come and barely gets it over, but it needs another bar. It's another bar or death for Bendy for only a double. Left hand side is still inaccessible. Doesn't matter what Bendy does, it was death regardless. And Hana, you need a Tetris to win. In fact, a Tetris to tie. Tetris will be scored, and my mistake, Hana, you are ahead by a single. That is enough, and you will take the second set. And you are already 2-0 up. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. J piece, Z piece, T piece. Same pieces are confirmed. It is time to see who will prevail. Bendy, you must win the remaining 3 sets. Take 3rd place. To avoid being the weakest link second time round. Hana, you only need to win 1 more set to take 3rd place. And tell Bendy that he is the weakest link once again. Let's see what will happen. Both players looks like struggling slightly to get the first Tetris on the board. Bendy will get number 1. And Hana will open up the right hand side just in time for a bar to come for Tetris number 1. Meantime, while these two are playing, I will notify the next 2 players that it is possible. Alright, they have been notified. Let's take a look at the game. Tetris for both players, and it looks like that after 44 lines, Bendy will be ahead by about 2/3 of a Tetris in terms of pace. Basically nothing. As both players' stacks are clean, Bendy with a Tetris. Alright, thank you for sticking by, Ivan. Hope you have a very pleasant day. Hana, forced to put a T piece in an awkward place. We'll take a Tetris, but this next line clear will only be a triple. So Bendy takes a Tetris. Halfway mark for Hana, 237 is building up for row number 2 as Bendy has a long bar dependency. Column 3 can set up for a Tetris with it, does so. Long bar drought is counting. After 18 pieces, the bar will come for a Tetris. And at the same line count, Bendy is ahead by just 2 triples. Hana now having a setup. Column 4 opens it up, but that O piece did not help one bit, nor that J piece. And Hana will have to decide what to do with this kind of stack. As Bendy will be 2.5 Tetrises in the lead. Hana, in the meantime, does take a Tetris. Bendy, with column 3, slams it down. Tetris for Hana, 100 lines, 326. Tetris for both players, 100 lines for Bendy, 395, ahead by 2 Tetrises. Tetris for both players, and I hope my calculations are correct, but I'm pretty sure Bendy is exactly 2 Tetrises in the lead. Not when that 2 singles now was burnt by Hana. Tetris for Bendy. Tetris for Hana. Tetris for Bendy. Nearing post-transition. Bendy could really do with winning this game. Has only effectively 2 lives left, and will always only have 2 lives left for the remainder of the match. And in the meantime, with a left well going on, nearing transition, does take a double, takes a Tetris. Bendy with a Vitz, gets it. Head by 90,000 points, takes that bailout triple. Now let's see what Hana can do. What can she prove to us in an attempt to steal the game, potentially? Indecisive on that L piece. Hana in a lot of trouble. Wow, perfect pieces. If those pieces did not come, that was instant death. Perfect T piece. Bendy takes a Tetris, dirty Tetris as well. Hana with an LJ dependency, gets a long bar, puts it in the LJ dependency, creating more dependencies. Bendy ahead in the lead by nearly 200,000 points now. Bendy can pretty much cruise all the way to the end, almost. But must not make a catastrophic error to give Hana any sort of chance. Another Tetris for Bendy. Hana making a long bar dependency was pretty much the only move, but does get a long bar for a Tetris. Now needs to deal with the left. Guess J piece left. More digging for Hana, as Bendy perfectly clean in cruise control. Tetris for Bendy, 718 to 24. And Bendy hangs a long bar to the right-hand side. That was well within dash limits too, which means that Hana can chase us down, but it is not trivial. It is absolutely not trivial at all. This is actually quite difficult. Let's see what happens here. Hana has to pretty much clean this out pretty much immediately and start scoring Tetrises. Hits the quick tap. Now pretty much have to score Tetrises from here on out. I believe there's only 3 burns left to do it. And nope, it will not happen. Bendy, you will win quite comfortably, and you will be 1-0 up in the 3rd set. Once again, same with set 1 and 2. You just need to win 1 more game, take the 3rd set. Hana, you can still take the match by winning 2 games in a row. Let's see what happens. Okay, Tetris for both players. And a little bit of spire setup does deal with it nicely. Just waiting on the bar. Both players waiting on the bar. And now with a long bar dependency. Takes a good triple. Cannot utilise that bar for a Tetris. That bar will be utilised on the other hand. And in the early game, Bendy already advantageous by about a Tetris and a half. Nice T-spin, T-tuck for a Tetris. That's another T-tuck for Hana. Now could really do with another T-piece, puts an L-piece in there instead. That S-piece came at a bad time. J-piece in your hand will help a bit. Both players scoring a Tetris. Bendy with another Tetris, Hana also with another Tetris. Bendy advantageous by about 2.5 Tetrises. Gets the bar, but it's blocked. There's another term for me to describe that, but I will not say it. I can think it, and you may also think it, but it shall not be said. Tetris for Bendy. Gets a nice series of tucks. Nearly at the halfway mark for both players. Nice adjustment on the S-piece to avoid. But unfortunately, those are not good pieces. That L-piece on the other hand is a good piece. Halfway mark, 307. Maybe think about getting a 600k transition, but a little bit high up with pretty bad pieces, I have to say. Bendy needs something to the right. Hits it. That long bar was really needed to left. Gets it over. 2 Tetrises in a row will be scored for Bendy, as if it was nothing at all. $80 lines for Hana, 100,000 points behind. Both players scoring a Tetris at the same time. The same frame, you could say. Yes, never give up. You could also say never gonna give you up. Never let the game let you down. Alright, back to the game, 100 lines each. 450 for Bendy, 360 for Hana. Bendy in a little bit of a spot of bother. Could do with a T-piece, gets the T-piece, followed by the perfect bar. Miss drops the T-piece. Could have been a perfect solve, but mistakes were made. And Bendy now in some serious trouble. Right hand side completely inaccessible. The whole stack was inaccessible. Hana, 2 Tetrises, and you will win this game. Hana will score a Tetris. That triple will take it. At level 19, Hana, you will take the second game. And you are now threatening match point. Bendy, you must win this game to take your first set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. T-piece, I-piece, O-piece. Same pieces that have been confirmed. Well, these players are giving me their Ninja Cam links, which means that I can then put it into my OBS. It's honestly good fortune that both of these cameras are of good quality. There's nothing I can control if they are bad cameras, let's put it that way. If they're potato cams or toast cams. But if there are good cams, then that is all the better. Yep, it is all on the individual player. The game is underway, and Hana already having a pleasant 2 Tetris lead. As Bendy, as a reminder, you must win this game in order to force the next set to be played. If you lose the match, and you will be called the weakest link once again. Tetris for Bendy. Another Tetris for Bendy. 40 lines, 111. Compared with 168 for Hana. Tetris for Hana. Bendy at column number 8 gets a Tetris. Both of these players were already called or labelled the weakest link once already by losing their semi-final match, but they have a second chance to get third place. The last thing you want is to be called weak link twice. Nearly at the halfway mark to transition, with Hana maintaining a very pleasant game indeed. 287, 310 at the halfway mark to transition. Can definitely think about getting a 600k transition. Bendy, on the other hand, would do well to get a 500k transition, reaching 250 at the halfway mark. Maybe forced to go left well. Takes a single skim, creating a bar dependency in the meantime, but does score a Tetris. Hana with a Tetris. Another Tetris for Hana. 400,000 at 86 lines. 80% Tetris rate, nearly 80% at least. Hana with a multitude of interesting placements. Let's see how this works out. Looks like it is not working out. Hana now in the spot of bother. Could do with an L piece, puts the bar there. O piece would now be nice. S piece comes instead, bad. Could do something on the left. Wow, that's a frame perfect quick tap for the L piece. Gets another quick tap on the I piece to the left. This is still not easy to get out of. Gets the I piece to the left. And all of a sudden, that lead that Hana has accumulated is just gone. Eliminated. Vanished. Ceased to be. And both players are now tied. Were tied. And Bendy scores a Tetris. Hana needs to clean this up before post-transition. Will transition score 438. Still not clean. Still needs the pieces necessary. L piece comes at a good time. Long bar comes at a good time. Now needs another L piece. J piece, good. Now needs a bar. Good RNG for Hana, and does so with proficiency. And Hana will stay alive to still threaten. Oh, Bendy, what happened to you? Bendy happened. Bendy tops out. And Hana just needs to chase down with one Tetris. Don't go just yet, Bendy. It is never guaranteed with level 19. Hana sets up a Tetris. That Tetris will be scored, and Hana, after 3 sets, you will take the match. 3 sets to nothing.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.